and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum. Peace be
Young
unto you.
TV.
Hit that like.
Hey, this message is to the 24 or the 23. They know who I'm talking about. Specifically, Bodie and Brady. Hey, Mark, I figured it out. It's Ashtar Command. It's Ashtar Command. That's just like we said from the beginning. Ashtar Command has been in on the whole thing. The whole thing, man. Going back with Yakub. Going back with Hitler. Operation Cabbage Patch Kids is their operation. And Hitler started the Operation Cabbage Patch Kids. And then you could even say Yakub had a method of it with his drafting. Right? So Ashtar Command is in on this. They were one of the groups that met up with Eisenhower in 1954 it was at Air Force Base. And one of the things they put over to him, because I hear people talking about it, is the QF system, the quantum financial system. And that system is already in play. They actually put it in play in 4 years later after that meeting. Well, partially. They put it partially in play after that meeting. And some of the parts of that situation was Mark Brady, Bodie, you know what I'm talking about. The credit card system that they set up on a planet, Ashtar Command, that was part of the quantum financial system, which they handed over to Eisenhower at the it was Air Force Base. Now the government act like when they looked over it, they act like they didn't want nothing to do with it. But once it went higher up to the other guys who puppeted Eisenhower, they said, "Oh yeah, we like some of this." The part that they liked was the electronic money system, and 4 years later, after careful scrutiny with the cone, they implemented the system. Go look it up. Go look it up. They started the credit card and debit card electronic money system, right? And so now we leading up to, because the title of this tape is, if you're just not coming in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be live with Rod Hayes, Chief Pontiac, at the North Gate at 9 o'clock. We just came to send this message to the 23 on what we had the conclusion that we came up with at the beginning, that Ashtar Command is in on the whole thing. They in on to overthrow the Earthborn. Now, the part I'm trying to figure out is what they deal is with Enlil. You know what I'm saying? And the reptilians. Because they claim to be like we said, the neutral zords. Meaning they're not on, or we're not with y'all, we're not with them. And they really the airborne regiment, because the original Ashtar Command is the ground unit from Cyrus B. And these guys gained the title Ashtar. They really was called the Nomads, or the Nomads. That's what they called them before they even came to Earth. They didn't have no home. They roamed because they got stuck in those avatars. Now, if you don't know, if you haven't been a follower of the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, he taught us that the Ashtar Command, he breaks down how they grow. They really test tube babies, and they grow on in tubes, and they can't reproduce. They ain't as fertile as the Earth Nubian women's, right? They are women, right? And that, like Mark Brady put it over to us, that this war is being fought over fertility when you go all the way back to it, right? But these beings are grown in tubes. They are test tube babies. These Ashtar Command, and they the ones that, like I say, know how to jump time, because they know how to move on the fifth dimensional frequencies, and they can come down and jump time, because Earth and other places are on a time belt. A lot of this might sound crazy and go over your head. We are in a hologram, an advanced hologram that becomes physical reality once the vibration of it is slowed down to a certain frequency on this side of the mirror with such hydrogen, right? But we are a hologramic projection being projected from the Pleiades star system galaxy, and I already broke all this down a while back. Go look up the photon belt. What is a photon belt? Then go look up a theater, the old theater, movie theater reel. It's called a reel, right? REEL. Then you got REAL, which they tell you is two different words, but it's really the same, right? But because real is electromagnetic frequency, light, magnetism. This goes into the eyes, which is the same. If you see some, oh, that's real. So it's like that. So it's like, what is real? Like Morpheus said, is it electromagnetic signals interpreted by the brain? So it's all as real is REEL and REAL. It's both. But if you study those old reels, that's what the photon belt is. And it's a star, a superstar that's projecting through that photon belt. Because if you break down the mechanisms of the theater camera, where it has a light that projects through the film and then projects the image on the screen. So we are in a projection, an advanced hologramic projection. And so it's on a time reel. The time reel is 26,000 and some change in years, they say. And then each section of the film it's 12 different parts, and each section of the film is 2,100 years. They call it an age or eon, right? And so, but it's certain extraterrestrials, because I can give you a lot of excuses or whatever the word is of how we got into this situation. But what I would tell you this is that it's extraterrestrial beings who can jump into like just like you do when the VCR or the rewind and press rewind and fast forward. It's just imagine if you if what you're watching, if what we're living is really a movie, and that it's extraterrestrial beings who can sit outside of this time and watch you like a TV and rewind you and fast forward you. The government already almost on to this technology. They show you in a movie called Deja Vu. They show you in another movie with Tom Cruise. Somebody, I can't think of the name of the movie. It starts with the M, Minors or something like that. With Tom Cruise, they arrest people for crimes or before they commit them. Somebody dropped that movie in the chat. Where they arrest people for before the crime is committed. The other movie is Deja Vu with Denzel. Starts with an M. I think of the movie. It's got Tom Cruise in it. They got a satellite that can look into time, and keep in mind they already got the time looking device. Just think about it. If they took the looking device, upgraded that, and then put it onto a satellite, and then they can watch. Yeah, it's called. Yeah, that's it. And look, so I want to check my train of thought. Loopers, yeah, Loopers talk about what's Loopers? Was it Jumpers? It's a movie called Jump or something. Or the report. Then that's with Tom Cruise. Then it's Jump. I think that's got Samuel Jackson in it, and he got the blonde hair. That's talking about the Proconians who all the time police who get sent to stop people from doing this time jumping. But really, what I'm getting, because I don't want to lose track. Is Ashtar Command got technology to be able to jump that real press rewind and press fast forward on that time belt. And so what they did is, in order to still, because this right here is some kind of pact or deal that's made that once it's over, whoever wins get the Earthborn rights. And it might be Inky versus Enlil. And I'm pretty Ashtar Command saying they ain't on nobody's side, but it looks like to me they rolling. They could be on their own side. They definitely ain't with us. That's for sure. That's what I put together. They definitely ain't with us. And so it's a whole bunch of people out here that's promoting Ashtar Command. If you take a look at them, and then look here. Not only that, Brady, Charlie Kirk is Ashtar Command. His wife is Ashtar Command. What's her name? Hey, somebody dropped Charlie Kirk's wife's name in the chat. Captain Kirk is connected with Ashtar Command and the Star Enterprise and all that, because that's when the government made deals with the Ashtar Command later to start going out of space, where they created the dark space program left off from Hitler. Yeah, Erica Kirk. Go look at her. She's Ashtar Command. I'm telling you, man. People might think I'm sounding crazy right now. Erica Kirk is Ashtar Command. And I'm gonna tell you something else. And so it's a connection with Ashtar Command in the situation with the Kirk thing, and connected back with Trump. And then I remember something popped back up in my mind where I remember I saw a picture that somebody drew of Ashtar Command, and they showed the different types of Ashtar Command. And one of the dudes that were flying one of the ships, he looked just like Trump with Ashtar Command. The know most, those who claim to know the most. I'm telling you, man. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go find it and bring it back on bring it back, man. But it says I have video evidence. Yeah, so the Ashtar Command jump time. What I'm saying is Ashtar Command jump time to influence Hitler to draft this superior race. Because they whole agenda is the whole white supremacy agenda the whole time. And they use avatars. They can switch to a dark skinned avatar and come down here amongst us, walk around and look like us, but they ain't us. They the Nubians. They look Nubian, but they ain't Nubians. They really Ashtar Command. I'm telling you, man. And these people, I told people a long time ago that Ashtar Command had a machine on the dark side of the moon that could generate artificial souls or artificial spirits. They can't create the soul, but they can generate artificial spirits. Because I was wondering, once we put the Cabbage Patch thing together about the Cabbage Patch Kids, and then find out they got the Cabbage Patch Kids thing from Adolf Hitler with the Project Paperclip when he was cloning, trying to make the superior race, just like Yaku. And they brought it over here to America. And you can go get that whole tape, like we say on the video side, about the Cabbage Patch Kids. But Ashtar Command was in on it. And it's all about white superiority. They call themselves the Great White Brotherhood. That's what Ashtar Command call themselves. The Erica is Ashtar Command. Erica Kurt. You can look at her, look at her eyes. So I can look at their eyes and tell because they got Ashtar Command, got hybrids down here. Then part of that Operation Cabbage Patch was so that they can use those clones to incarnate, or pretty much because the extraterrestrials got technology, they could transfer their consciousness to the other bodies. Your government, your dark government got, you might not believe it, but your dark government got this technology where they can transfer consciousness in a REM sleep state from one state to the next. They learned all of this stuff where they got Hitler and his people over here. That Hitler and them was working on it because they got it from Ashtar Command and was trying to show them how to do it. They still broke galactic law, even though they tried to be slick and do it kind of like what Inky did. When Inky was told not to tell nobody in the humans about the flood, he still secretly wrote down on tablets how to design a submarine and left it and spoke through a tent to supposedly to Utna Fishtoon, who most people refer to as Noah, through a tent of how about this flood coming. Then he gave him the designs written down on the tablets for designs for a whole submarine, right? Or some kind of water type craft, right? And that really broke the rules of what slick. It was a slick way of getting around the rules. So Ashtar Command kind of pulled that same thing with using channeling, what they call channeling, to send telepathic messages to psychics that Hitler was working with, and they just write down all this information and start trying to reiterate it. And that's how Hitler, the Germans, the Third Reich, got ahead of the earth. There was ahead of event, and they still really secretly underground. And that's what I'm getting at, Mark Brady. That's why the ancestors is bringing me back around to this. So I got to tell y'all this. They're bringing me back around to the Fourth Reich, going underground and going to the dark side of the moon, and pretty much going to other planets and being on Mars and trying to get back to Europa, the moon Europa, like Doc said. All this is taking place as we speak, right? But if you notice, the Hitler used to do that thing like that, right? Then you get up, you see Elon Musk, who was down with Trump. They was rolling, they were buddies at first, but till he got did the Hitler sign, right? The Nazi, take over Third Reich, but it's really the Fourth Reich. That's what they ain't telling you. And they already went underground. The Fourth Reich went underground. That's why Elon Musk building all this stuff underground. He part of the Third Reich. He part of Ashtar Command. Elon Musk is part of the Ashtar Command agenda. And Trump had to get out the media with him. They still hang out buddy, but he had to get out the media with him once he showed them who they was down with. Ashtar Command. Still going back to the Fourth Reich. Yeah. What about Quito Mutua? But so they all in bed with Ashtar Command, just like we thought from the beginning. And the whole plan is to turn everybody into electronic finances and then control their whole, pretty much their life, control who eat and who live and die based off of finance. But they fail to realize that they could go to that system, but that don't mean we got to go by it or completely live by it. We survived without the system before it came. It wasn't no money before they came. So how we live before they came with the money? They said, matter of fact, you go look it up. They used to have what they call Wu Noms. And only the women had money before these guys came. Only the women had money. I'm telling you. And it was called Wu Nom. Go look it up. And they saw it as seashells because they're trying to cover it up, but it was seashells. And I don't want to get too vulgar, but it was the cookie. The cookie was the only money over here. I'm telling you, everything else was free. And it should be free now. That's how rich America is, because it should be free now. But when me and Rod come on tonight, we're gonna expose the Smithsonian Institute. Yeah, go look it up. Type in Wu Nom. And a lot of y'all, some of y'all women are Wu Nom. It's witchy. You witchy. You're a witch. You're a warlock. That's not a bad. It might sound like a bad word because of the Spanish Inquisition, but since if you don't like them words, we got a nicer word for you. Alchemists. A lot of you are bloodline alchemists. That's but now instead of doing your other stuff, which the Spanish Inquisition labeled as bad, you just cook. You in the kitchen now, and you whooping back some greens. And them greens, everybody come through from miles away saying, "Oh yeah, them greens bust." Why? Cause she an alchemist. She whoop, and then she don't got no cookbook. When you ever see your big mama with a cookbook? Just think about that. When have you ever seen your grandma and them, anybody that, I mean, I ain't never seen no black or Nubian person of Moorish descent with no dang on cookbook. I'm telling you, man. And then they come out with cookbooks. That's all Martha Stewart type of crap. So it's like this. They instead of now doing, and some of y'all big mamas still practice the alchemy. They just did it underground because of the Spanish Inquisition. So they still had old remedies. Well, they tell you, hey, if you got a fever, put the onion on your sock, or take go take them berries out there, which they told us later that they were snake berries. Well, then they balled it up and sell it to us over the counter in gel and gummy bears and other things. They sell us snake berry juice called elderberry on over the counter, but they told us when it was look, don't eat them, and they even programmed the 70s and 80s generation to tell us that. And it want some of them seek through the cracks. Instead say, nah, my grandma told me them that's what heal your cold in your lungs and things. See what I'm saying? This is the type of mindset and game that they play. But a lot of y'all are you women are Wu Nung. Erica Badu is Wu Nung. Shout out my girl Badu, right? She Wu Nung. And shout out my girl sister Nikki Love. She Wu Nung. Right? Nikki Love Wu Nung. Nikki Love was the first one that brought me on her show. And that's why I met Mark Brady, our Toon Red. Right? And then I got in touch with Bodie. And then it was like we took off from there. Yeah, but all those remedies, like the sock and all those remedies, some of your grandmothers still practice underground. But the Spanish Inquisition, that's what our Nana was saying when they came, they burned her daughter to the stake. Because that flag, that Moorish flag, I know a lot of people don't like the Moorish flag, but that Moorish flag represents the feminine, it represents the Wu Nang. It represents the alchemists, a bloodline of feminine, of sisterhood, bloodline of alchemists who on the land that bonded together. In all of our schools, that flag was on all of the schools. And they show you in Harry Potter. Go watch all the Harry Potters and you'll see. They show you in Harry Potter that we had schools over here that taught the alchemy. This was ancient Egypt. This is where everybody went to school. This is what King George III son, his son, Fredericks, who later on changed his name because they was trying to, the Rothschilds trying out there to kill him, changed his name to Frederick Douglass. But he was the heir to the British Empire, Frederick Douglass. Why do you think he was so high up in the government back then when they telling you some false narrative of slavery? Let's go check it out. The Tartarian Empire, we are the Tartarians. We are the Timerians. That's the later name. The Timerians. And we the ones, the civilizers, the mound builders. Because somebody asked me, which Native American tribe over here were Moors? The ones, and they know what my response is to that. The ones that build mounds. All the ones that build mounds. That's my answer. All the ones that build mounds were Moors. The enlightened ones is really what it means. And we the ones that went around building mounds all around the world. We went civilizing the world. We went into England. We left America and said the Phoenicians. We already showed them the last tape. Me and Rod showed they showed the Phoenicians over in Ohio and Illinois back in 30,000 years ago. So we built ships over here and we left the city of Ora. And other people, we didn't really even call ourselves Moors, to be honest with you. Other people call us that. They call us the enlightened ones because we're the ones that brought the knowledge. So different other people called us, and they had different terms like Amari. Amari was another word, or Amir, which means sea, because we could build big ships and sail over the sea and cross. And when we got over to when we sailed over from here to Africa, they started calling us Hebrews, those who crossed over the Great River, because we had the technology and the civilization. We was a civilization that was advanced due to the 200 Igigis coming down, landed in California on top of Mount Santa Fe, which is Mount Harmon, really, and they came down and set up the city of the Los Angeles, and set up schools and started educating the humans. And Enlil got mad at this. And like I said, we already pointed all this out, but Ashtar Command is out to stop us, and they out to keep us because I believe they had competition with us to try to take over our planet, and they hoping that we stay in some type of state to where they can say, oh yeah, well see, they didn't make it. They're not gonna be able to run the planet. It actually says that even in the scriptures, in Songs 82 and 86, where it talks about they were rocked to sleep and the earth is out of course. So if we don't wake up in time and figure out that, hey, we the civilizers, we are the makers of the creators, just like Elijah Muhammad said, we are the people that, and like I was saying, when England was down, when Europe went down and they had diseases running rampant during the Dark Age, we left America and sailed over there and helped them and brought Europe back. We brought baking soda over there. They didn't even know what baking soda was, these guys. Don't let them tell you the Moors' origin from any other place but America. The civilizers, the enlightened ones. That's why they use the pyramid on the back of a dollar. That's why they use all of our Moorish seals on back, because they know it's American. It's all American. The word American means, the word American translate into the land of the Moors. Go check it out. I'm telling you, man. But we about to be back. About to take a brief break. Well, we got a couple more minutes with you. We'll hang out a couple more minutes. We're going to try to get off, and then we're going to be back on at 9 o'clock with Rod. But Donald Trump is Ashtar Command. Don't fool yourself. And what his whole game is, he gonna be the last president and try to become a dictator and pass it to his son once the calamity happened. If anybody, the survivors, pass it to his son, and then pretty much they have a one world government. Trump is still a part of the one world order, the new world order, the one world government. The Ashtar Command, they the ones that put up the Georgia Guidestones and talking about 500 years. I mean, 500,000 million people, 500 million people down to 500. That's their whole agenda, because on their planet they got birth laws and birth control. I'm telling you, man. That's Ashtar Command agenda. And that's the 2030 agenda is the Ashtar Command agenda. Trump is a part of the end goal. I'm telling you, don't let this dude fool you. He come off as like he helping, but you're gonna see tonight, just like he out to the Smithsonian Institute, but he at the Smithsonian Institute talking about African Americans. We ain't African Americans. And look, they so subliminal. I can't wait till we do the show tonight with Rod, but they on there talking about our artifacts in America, and they saying that these are original American artifacts that go back 30, 40,000 years, and they're African Americans, but they still calling us African Americans. I'm telling you, man, they lying. It's like like Doc said. Once this time comes, that you're gonna be able to see the lie. So they talking. You can listen to them and say, "Damn, is he saying it?" He just said that the Smithsonian Institute got all African American artifacts, but at the same time, these artifacts predate anything over here. How you go? What has he just said? I said, man, these people, it's got to be AI. It's got to be AI making them say that, right? It's got to be AI. But you're gonna hear something. We're gonna play some of the clips tonight on Live with Rob. But like I said, man, All you Wu Nam sisters need to wise up and get back to work. I know you probably in the kitchen whooping it back. Or you always that person in your family that people call to figure out problems. Y'all just converted to more a religious. Y'all had to go to more religious ideology. What I mean by that is, you know how they had like the rabbi. Well, they ain't got rabbis in Catholics. They more like cardinals or whatever. The guy that be in the booth and you go in there and confess, right? See, we do that same thing before they even we do that same thing really after they came, but we was doing it before they came really, but we changed the method of doing it after the Spanish Inquisition. Now you call that particular person in your family, or you might be that person that they call in your family, and then they tell you all their problems, and then you pretty much forgive their sins or tell them, make them feel better about what's going down. You pretty much forgive their sins, right? And those are the Wunan people in the family. A lot of them women also are doulas. A lot of y'all Wunan women are doulas. Y'all are midwives, and you're supposed to be bringing the babies in. The reason because when they come in, you can tell who they are. You're gonna be able to mark them when they come, and then too, as you watch them after about 3 years or less, you'll be able. The doulas or the Wunam women will be able to tell who they is spiritually as a reincarnation. That's a part of all the rituals that we had on this land before these devils came on and made us forget all of our rituals. And they really weren't rituals. They was just how we perceive life, how we lived. Yeah, Wunam, go look it up. They're gonna say it's some shells. It was a form of source of money. It was a form of money on the land before the colonizers came with their form of money. But it really was, it was like this is what I'm telling you too. This is what I want to tell you. Like, so yeah, now they compartmentalize your abilities and your power to just it's being cut down because of the religious perspective. But you did more than in certain other countries. The Wunan women still practicing all their rights. They still practicing all the original stuff. And because if you go read the Bible. Well, you don't gotta go. I don't say for you people that might not want to read the Bible, but I'm saying in the Bible, if you read the Bible before, in the New Testament under the Christian doctrine, they say women shouldn't be doing nothing, shouldn't be standing up to speak. That's what Paul says in his doctrines, that women shouldn't be speaking in the church and this and that. And this is all to cut off the original hearers and oracles on our land over here. That was a part of it, to cut down the oracles, and they burned some of them that went convert at the stake. They burned some of our Nana daughters at the stake because they went convert to this. So then you had to compartmentalize. Well, now you become, instead of now you got to get a license from them and become what they call a therapist. And then, but you really are some of the therapists who made it through they screw program. It's a programming really where they don't really teach you but a bunch of crap. And the only good therapists is the ones that were originally Wunam, and then they got the license. Now they approved by the Spanish Inquisition and the Pope and his guys. Now they cool as far as to do it, but they good because they were originally Wunam from the beginning. Their bloodline come down from the Wunam. Yeah, Wunam. A lot of you women listening now, a lot of y'all are Wunam. Your mother, your grandmother, somebody in your family was Wunam. They were the alchemists, the one that, and we did a lot of alchemy, but the alchemy that's being done now, like I say, is being compartmentalized due to the Spanish Inquisition. So now that auntie or that grandmother, now some of them still, most of them have passed away, but a lot of them that still remember, or you may have some older auntie who naturally, because I'm gonna tell you what happens. The universe always keep the information going. So it's always going to be that one auntie that pick up the information from the grandma by naturally just being around her. And that auntie going to pass it to the next one. So it's always going to be that one, and it's in the mitochondria. And even if that next one don't pass it, once they pass the mitochondria, it's gonna automatically pass. And even if it's a male and then that male have a daughter, that information is gonna pass to that daughter. Because how does it work? All information is stored on the DNA. So Big Mama can never go away. And the only thing she do is get stronger. Only thing mitochondrial DNA do is multiply its information every generation. Now, what the devil is trying to do, he put scientists in the lab to try to alter and mess with this frequency, which is going to cause which is one of the reasons why his butt is getting, you know what I'm saying, his own doing is becoming his own undoing. Put it like that. And all them they becoming extinct, which is why they tried to do the Cabbage Patch thing. They were becoming extinct. But the Cabbage Patch thing even gonna backfire, and a lot of them kids became Nigerian candidates, those adults. But military knuckleheads where they could just send right into battle, gun to gun. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. But man, won't hold you long, man. Let me go and get up out of here, and we'll be back with Raw Hayes. Hey, but Mark Brady, we figured it out. Trump made the deal with Ashtar Command, and so they going on with the plan, as we thought. But we gonna win this war. Why? Remember, because we can dance and they can't. Free Malachi's New York, man. Never have it been made so clear.